Welcome everyone to Thursday Night Live. I am Dr. Perry Bard with your co-host, the incredible Dr. Eric Kaplan. That's about as formal as we're going to be tonight. I am very, very excited, as probably you guys are, for our special guest. But you're going to have to wait a little bit for our special guest because before we bring him on, we'll share some love and we'll share something that we actually have never done before. We've not done this before. And one of our staff members here, one of our team members said to us actually an hour before this started, why don't you address some of the questions that the doctors sent in actually this week? So they actually gave me some of your questions, which is pretty wild. We've never done this before. So what we'll do is I'll answer your questions. If I can't answer them, Dr. Kaplan will answer them. We just have a few of them to get started. And this is why I'm wearing my glasses tonight, all right? But let's see, I've not seen these questions. That was the whole idea. They said, don't read them until you get there. I said, deal, I'm not gonna read them. Let's see, okay. This is when you get old, you gotta see. My arm is not long enough. Let's see. Okay, Dr. Bard. All right, interesting. I knew Dr. Kaplan had surgery. How is he feeling? And, oh, this is cool. Dig this. How is he feeling? And can I send him a gift? Wow. All right. So he's feeling great. But what we're going to do is he's going to actually answer that question tonight. Okay. So he'll answer how he's feeling tonight. And can you send them a gift? The answer is yes, Dr. Sean. I'll give you his email or his address, and you can send. That's very generous of you. Not necessary, which he'll tell you all the time, but he does like red wine and dark chocolate. No, I think actually I like the dark chocolate. So cigars, yes, cigars. So that's very nice. All right. So let's see. Okay, this is cool. From let's see, from Dr. Is that Dr. Brenner? All right, Dr. Brenner. Looks like Dr. Brenner. Love these trainings on Thursday Night Live. Wow, this is very cool. Really pumps me up and lets me know I'm not alone during these crazy times. Where can I watch some of the previous ones? All right, great question. I'm glad this was one of the questions. I was actually going to talk about this. What you can do is this. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, you absolutely, positively, 100% want to go to our Concierge Coaches YouTube channel and sign up as a subscriber. Now, there's a reason for that. The reason is simple. The reason is because that you'll get first access to these trainings, number one. Number two, you can go back and watch some of the old ones. But number three, here's the most important reason. We don't post everything. So subscribers get first access, and sometimes you'll get something that'll go up for 3 days, and then we'll pull it down. And we do that because we really want to reward. The reason is simple. We want to reward the people that are here live. The people that are here live, this is the deal. You get the gifts, you get the stuff, you get the content. So sign up, go to Concierge Coaches YouTube channel, and there's a lot of cool videos there, and that's how you can get access to it. Let's see. How many? I got 2 more questions. All right, so. Who comes up with this? All right. How do I get one of those cool hoodies you wear that says "This Centers of America"? Okay, so what you're probably referring to is probably this hoodie here, or Dr. Kaplan's hoodie. How do you get one of these? Well, here's how you get one of these. All right, you got to do 2 things. Number one, you got to be a family member, of course. So if you're a member of This Centers of America, I'm going to tell you, if you watch every week, I have a different color on. These are the most comfortable hoodies I have ever worn. You can ask anybody here if this is not the most comfortable hoodie in the history. And, you know, we're here in Florida, so it's warm, so it's thin. But here's the coolest thing. You can wash this thing like 100 times. It'll be like brand new. And this is probably the most popular thing we've ever given away. That's number one. Number two, send us an email at newpatientnow@aol.com. That's how you get your hands on it. Family member, New Patient Now. We'd love to give it to you. We'll tell you exactly how to get your hands on this. It's awesome. Not all the colors. Some of the colors are already sold out. But it's a gift. It's free. If you're part of the family, all you got to do is one simple thing and send us an email at newpatientnow@aol.com. Okay. And that's Stephen, Dr. Stephen with actually Dr. Stefan with a PH, Dr. Stephen with a PH. So very cool. All right, and last question. Okay, so this is interesting. All right, each week you have been saying that there are limited seats left for the Cairo event. That's correct. I want to come. I want to bring my wife. Are there any seats left? Thanks, Dr. Marcus. All right, so the answer to your question, Dr. Marcus, is yes, with a little caveat. So what we'll do here is this. I'll actually address that question here right after Dr. Kaplan actually speaks tonight. So, oh, Dr. Lesagio, my man in Lehigh Valley, brother. So great to see you. Love him. Cool dude. Nobody represents the brand better. Very, very cool. You know, we've had a lot of fun doing this, and this has really been a labor of love. And it really stems from the desire of Dr. Kaplan's willingness and desire to be able to lift you, to raise you, to guide you, to share with you, and to give to you during these unique and special times. So as you know, I can hang out all night and listen to him. He's that good, as you know. It's our honor to introduce the incredible Dr. Eric Kaplan. Welcome to the show, brother.
You know, it's so good to be here, and it's amazing. As I look at Scott, as I look at Lesagio, as I look at you, as I look at Jason, even Sonny and Brigitte and Lori, it looks like everybody got their hair done. How is this possible? Lori, Brigitte, come on, look at you two. Come on. The color's good. The hair looks great. Are you kidding me? Look at Concessi. Are you kidding me? I'm going to tell you, so you know what? It's so funny because everybody asked me about the future. You know, Woody Allen, who, by the way, Perry happens to know, there's a lot of things about Dr. Bard people don't know. He said 80% of success is showing up. You know, we show up to this every Thursday night. We do it for our profession. Why? So, you know, and people always ask me, what's going to be tomorrow? What's going to be next week? And people always want to know, what do I do with this MRI? What do I do with MRI? So tonight, I'm going to share with you a secret I've never shared before, where I get my answers from. We will be back in practice soon. Unbelievable. So hold on. Yes, you can treat that patient regardless of their disc condition. Hold on. Oh, this is a big one. This is a great time for chiropractic if you get off your ass. Unbelievable. So now you know the secret. You know where the answers come from. You know what I do here on a day-to-day basis. It's an amazing thing that we do. And you know what? One of the beautiful things that Perry and I do is we have access to so many doctors. You know, people like you, Mark, on occasion, like Scott Banks, you know, Brigitte. Matter of fact, Brigitte, in your honor, actually, I was doing a little too much on the bicycle. My back started bothering me. It flared up. So what do you think I did? I called 1-800-Mineralgia. I put Mineralgia on my back. And I'm going to tell you, the stuff works. You know what? A little salty. Listen, I had to drink a lot of water. Like, oh, God, like, you know, but no, it comes from the Dead Sea. It's an amazing product developed by a chiropractor for chiropractic. You know, this is an amazing time. I am 67 years young. Lori, to you, I'll lie about my age. I'm 62 years young. And the point is that I'm going to say is, in my lifetime, I've never seen anything like this. And then, you know, one of our next people who I know for, you know, a big portion of my life, Scott Banks, people have been very proactive. We spoke to Mike Smith yesterday. Mike Smith had 20 new patients last week because he's out buying lunches and doing dinners. And we have, you know, response letters to bring, you know, there are three types of people. Jason, you're going to know what I'm going to tell you because I did this to you your whole damn life. There's three types of people. those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that say, what happened? What happened? Well, I'm going to tell you what happened. The coronavirus came, but let me tell you the future. Everyone will be back in full practice soon. Now, when you know what the 8-ball says, what I'm saying, are you ready? Dr. Barter was talking to me just the other day about one of our doctors, one of our brand new doctors. There are 2 doctors from the same state. I'm not going to say the state, but it begins with an M. So you figure it out. Could be Montana, but it's not. So now figure out all the other states with an M. Could be Michigan, Kentucky, but it's not. So now I have 2 new doctors in the same state. And Perry, you know, because we see what they do through our graphic design department. And one has done the Magazette. They've done this. They've done that. They're prepared. They're prepared. I watched today, and Perry, I will tell you, if I'm going to ask a favor of you tonight. And in all the Zoom meetings, I never asked a favor, but for those that want it, we got a text today from a guy, and he's actually seeing patients right now in the great state of Washington. And he did, for his Facebook, first things, he did a thing to his patients. He showed how he cleans his tables. He showed how he prepares for the coronavirus. He invited him into the office. It was an amazing thing that he did, Dr. Dreiling. And for those clients of ours, you know, that want to see it, even non-clients, we'll send it to you. We will send, you know, if you ask, we will send a copy of this out to you. But here's a guy that's not sitting on his ASS, okay? He's out there pumping it. Because I'm going to tell you, doctors, what's going to happen is this. Some guys are going to be winners and some guys are going to be whiners. Some guys are going to be victors and some guys are going to be victims. You have to say to yourself, am I prepared for the next wave? You know, like the ocean. Jason, you're a boater. You're going to have some days that the water's going to be smooth. New patients are going to come in. The practice is going to go great. But then you're going to have other days. You're going to be out there in that boat. And I'm going to tell you, a storm's going to come in. That's when you know if you're a seaman. That's when you know if you're prepared. You know, one of the things I'm going to say to you, LaSasia, one of my coaches, you know, once said to me, okay, and he said, you know, if you're going to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, he said, I want the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich you can make. Now, Mark, what the hell does that have to do with basketball? But you know what? It made me think, because one of his mentors told him that. And he said, if you're going to do a sandwich, if you're going to be a chiropractor, I want you to be the best chiropractor. One of the books that I've always recommended, everybody knows it, is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And in that book, one of the agreements is be the best you can be. And Scott, you know what? I'm proud of you because I go back to Philly Dickinson University. I was Scott's resident advisor when he had more hair, Lori, than you right now. Trust me when I tell you, he was a true hippie. I couldn't walk by his room because he was always smoking pot. So I had to go like this when I passed by his room because I wouldn't report him as his RA. But, you know, here he is, wrote a book. He's going to talk about it tonight. He's going to talk about functional medicine tonight. And, you know, he's really been very proactive. I mean, as far as decompression, as far as neuropathy. I have another doctor who said, you know what? See, what people don't realize is, and I'm going to say this to every one of you doctors, what kind of pitcher are you? See, if you're a fastball pitcher, it's not good to only have one pitch, meaning you can't just do decompression because eventually people see the ad. So one of the guys said to me, so Mark, I know you get a lot of knees, right, Mark? Shake your head, yes, right? You're closing a lot of knee cases, aren't you? Right? So here's a guy and that you know, he had measles and he's working with it. So, you know, the point is, what I'm saying to you is, we had one doctor say, you know, the Facebook guy, I went to neuropathy. He got 10 new patients this week. Let me tell you why. There's a reason why. You know why? Because let me tell you the facts of life, people. People get old. People get old. And let me tell you something. You think that Medicare people don't have money? I remember when I was in practice, listen, guilty as charged. I take full responsibility. When I was in practice, when a Medicare patient would come in, I would say, Perry, you take care of him. I mean, I didn't want to do the Medicare patients. I wanted the PI patients. I wanted where the money was. Bruce Burns, you understand that. I know you're more than an X-ray guy. Look at you, Bruce Burns, with a sweater. You look so casual tonight. I'm going to tell you, you're a hot item. I'm going to tell you, I can see why the girls in New York like go wild on you. And you got a haircut too. What is it? Am I the only guy in the world that hasn't got a haircut even though all the salons are closed? So the point that I'm saying is, with Medicare comes a very unique, because these are people that have saved their whole life. You know, we talk many times about Rich Law. We talk about the master class, which we're going to have this summer, you know, and his practice is developing of mostly of Mennonites and Medicare people. And yet he has 12 decompression tables. And people say, how does he do it? Because he gets people well. The game that we're in is results. Now, here's the thing I'm going to tell you, doctors. You know, if you were playing baseball, this is a big thing. Because I know, listen, I don't know if you know about Perry's kids. Perry's kids were great baseball players. One of his sons was recruited professionally. I went to a game in Atlanta, Georgia, which was a wooden bat tournament. The kid hits the ball, his first pitch, hits it to the wall, hits the top of the wall, didn't go over. And one of the scouts from New York Mets comes over and talks to Perry. How exciting was that? I mean, I was there. And I'm saying, wow. But here's what I learned, okay? But there's also been people that when they're in the batter's box, they get hit by a pitch. They get hit. The problem is, are they ready to get back in the box? Are they prepared to get hit again? Listen, the corona's been terrible. I know you got hit. But let me tell you something. I got hit. Perry got hit. You know, we were scared. Perry wasn't. He's invincible. He drinks like all this vegetable juice. I had to go get a juicer. My wife now makes me, I drink so many greens. I'm going to tell you, I urinate green now, Scott. I don't know if that's a functional medicine thing, but all I am is green. I try to drink wine just to drink a little color change to get the green out of my urine. It's an amazing thing. But the point that I'm saying to you is, you got to get back into the box. You know what? There's basically two types of doctors in decompression. And I say this to my clients and to my non-clients. Those that are willing to close the case and those that aren't. And what's the difference? The difference is those that believe in what they do and those that don't believe in what they do. Are you a person selling chiropractic, or are you a doctor educating people on what they do? Perry always said DC stands for disc chiropractor. You know what? And that's an amazing thing. And I'm going to tell you something. I was telling somebody today, and I spoke to you, Jason, last night. You know this. My back aggravated, and I said, my wife was into his office yesterday. I'm getting adjusted by Jason this weekend. What I'm telling you, doctors, the coronavirus will go away, but guess what? Disc pain will not go away. Neuropathy will not go away. This is a great time. And as I said, you know, it's you having the being fearless to step up, to look the patient in the eyes, to review their diagnostics, to review their x-rays, to review their MRIs. And Patrick Doyle, you know, we need to talk because Patrick's is developing a whole new diagnostic kit for neuropathy on top of the boot, Patrick, and I want one. I mean, who would think? Unfortunately, every time we teach something, I get it. We teach disc problems, I tell Barry, I get it. All of a sudden, I get like mild neuropathy from that gallbladder surgery. I got it. Thank God we don't teach erectile dysfunction. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to know what's going on out there. So the point is, you got to have fun. It's Thursday night. I'm so proud of Perry Bard because Perry puts a lot of time, energy, and effort into doing this. This is not an easy thing to do. And coordinating the gifts that he has. You know, when we talk about the boot camp coming up, doctors, and for those that aren't doctors, I'm going to tell you, this will be an amazing boot camp. And because of distancing, because Perry and I follow the rules of Corona, we might do that boot camp at Trump on Friday. So I'm not saying that we will, but LaSasia would be there just for the lunch, Perry, because the lunch is, look, he's laughing, but he knows how good the food is there, right? He say, lunch? Call the airline now. I guess, LaSasia, I can see you, but we're working on that. We're probably going to do that. We want it to be the best 2 days. You know, one of the things that I'm going to say to you, and I'll say to you again later, it's Thursday night. We don't get paid for this. We're here promoting chiropractic. Scott Banks has put a lot of preparation tonight. Perry spent the whole week getting ready for tonight. And I target you to say this, get one friend to come next week. Now, so when I say that, why? One of the great friends of mine, one of my mentors that some of you know, some of you don't know, Ian Grossum, said, let me tell you, he said, how would you like to know how to double your practice? Double your practice. I said, of course I'd like to know. He said, get every person to refer you one patient. Get every patient to refer one patient, and you will double your practice. Think about that. So matter of fact, what I used to do, one of my scripts, which I'm unscripted, I'm here live, okay, is I say to the patient all the time, Sonny, I'd walk up to them and Sonny, I'd say, are you happy? Am I doing a good job? Yes. Well, how come you ever brought your family in? How come you ever referred anybody? You know, Mark Victor Hansen, who wrote all the Chicken Soup for the Soul books, said the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. He said, but the key is you got to ask and ask and ask. So what I'm telling you is, I love you, Scott Banks. I love mineralgia. Patrick Doyle, I'm excited about your new exam thing. I'm excited about the video. We're going to have you on again to talk about the boot, how you can do neuropathy 1 to 2 days a week in your office. It's a no-brainer. And I'm going to tell you, there's a big population taking a lot of drugs, and Lyric is a bolt and a rotten that don't work. So I'm excited about the future. I'm just asking you, here's my question to each and every one of you. Are you excited or are you scared? If you're not, it's okay to be cautious, but scared, nah. Back pain will not go away. Neuropathy will not go away. The coronavirus will go into abeyance, but you know what? Maybe the world will never be the same, but you know what? For you, after tonight with Scott, after tonight with Perry, the world will be better. Thanks to people like you, Brigitte, with mineralgia. Thanks to people like you, Scott, to you, Patrick. I mean, there's a lot of great people on this call, even you, Burnshead. So it's an amazing thing, but you have to maintain the confidence. You have to maintain the commitment, because I'm going to tell you why. You're a doctor. And a doctor is supposed to be above and beyond the ordinary. You're supposed to be extraordinary. Matter of fact, I was with my internist last week, and I said, Dennis, aren't you scared? Scared. People are coming into your office. He said, listen, I'm a doctor. He said, I'm not going to put my head in the sand. I'm here. We test them, which is what Troy talked about in the thing. For $69, you get an infrared thermometer. You can put it on their forehead, and you can see if they have a temperature. If they have a temperature, say, come back when you don't have a temperature. It's very simple. And if they're coughing, you know what? Tell them to take it outside. If they're drinking beer like Mark Lasagio, what about all of us, Mark? What about all your friends here? Jason and Stephanie want a beer. So with that to do, look at you. Yeah, sure, Mark. You have 2 different bottles there. I know you. Listen, the point that I'm saying to you is this, doctors. This is a great time for chiropractic. The Perot study showed it. Scott Banks will teach you tonight. Patrick Doyle last week was great. If anyone has any questions on the neuropathy boot, you know, Perry will give you his number. We have a lot of great gifts. And again, special thanks to Perry Bard, who works diligently to put this together. And it's not an easy thing. So Perry, please take over.
Thank you, brother. Just having fun. You know, we always say, you know, I'll give you an example. I got a chance to speak with Dr. Rosenberg today. For those of you who see, you know, one of the cool things about coming to Thursday Night Live is you actually get access to information. We are shooting actually a TV show, actually, and it's called the Dr. Success Spotlight TV show, and it's awesome. And you know who our first guest already was. He just spoke, and he did an amazing job. And we're actually, we actually spoke to Dr. Laura this week, 12 decompression tables. They're all busy, doing great. Spoke to, recorded Dr. Rosenberg today for the mineralgia, incredible. So a lot of great things in the pipeline. It really is amazing. But what I want to do here, first and foremost, is I want to show you some stuff. Can I show you some stuff tonight? Would it be okay if I show you some stuff? Say yes, absolutely. All right, very cool. Let me see here. There we go. All right, beautiful. Can you see that? Can everybody see that? All right, looks pretty good to me. I don't know. I think that looks pretty good. All right, good deal. So I want to show you a couple of things before we bring on our special guest. There's actually a couple of things that I actually wanted to show you, which was really cool because of the fact that I was actually asked, as you know before, a question before, and I actually have the answer here on one of the slides. So as you know, this was a big month for us. This is the last day of the month, and April was special because April was the month that both Dr. Kaplan and myself, primarily Dr. Kaplan, because listen, at the end of the day, he wrote the curriculum. He wrote the protocols. Nobody gets up earlier. Nobody stays up later in terms of the research for non-surgical spinal decompression. I love when he always says, I'm one of the top 3 people in the country. Well, guess what? I'd like to meet the other 2 because the reality is he's number 1 for a reason. And it's awesome. It really is. So get your copy of it. There is an invitation in there to join us, as you know, at the Cairo event, which will be May 30th. It is the single greatest opportunity to learn how to reposition yourself, refocus, re-strategize, restructure, and really relaunch yourself in a brand new normal here, where you'll have so much ammunition. And I'm telling you, you won't be able to sleep Saturday night. You'll be so juiced, so pumped, so energized, so excited by coming, because this is the event that everybody raves about. And if you're fortunate enough, and I say if you're fortunate enough to get a seat, very few seats remain. And they actually prepared this for you ahead of time, which I thought was, because the question was, if you remember, when they asked one of the questions, they wanted to know how many seats were left. That was Dr. Marcus. There's 4 seats left. That's it, 4 seats. Now, what that means is that you're allowed to bring a guest. So if your wife comes, which is what you asked for, then 2 of the seats are already going to be gone. So my suggestion is jump on it ASAP. Saturday, May 30th. It's a game changer. It's a life changer for your practice, for yourself, and so much more. Now, last week was very interesting. Last week, we spoke about the debut of my favorite book, which is The 1 Minute Motivator. Now, if you're curious why this is my favorite book, it's because this is the brother to my all-time favorite book, which is The 5 Minute Motivator. This is a brand new copy. Nobody knows about it unless you were on last Thursday Night Live, where we actually spoke about how to get your hands on this. And this is really a labor of love. And this is the book that really is the tipping point for so many chiropractors, because it is so time sensitive. And if you want to get your hands on it, there's actually a way to get your hands on it. And we've never done this before. So fingers crossed, we're actually going to show something right now that nobody's ever seen before. So fingers crossed, this will tell you a little bit about what this is all about, the 1 Minute Motivator.
As healthy as you are, we can always be. As happy as we are, we can always be.
Let me introduce Dr. Eric Kaplan. Let's get more now from Dr. Eric Kaplan.
I think they call that a teaser. Because it's not for sale yet. However, if that doesn't give you goosebumps, it really is incredible. The way you can get your hands on this is if you're one of the chosen and one of the few and one of the fortunate ones that snags one of those seats. There's 4 left, and then it's completely sold out. And that's it. So if I'm you, go to www.thechirovent.com and you'll walk away with a number of gifts, specifically the brand new 1-minute motivator. So tonight is special because we get a chance to really, really feel the commitment of a doctor that is in the trenches. We're talking about the incredible Dr. Scott Banks. Dr. Banks is the director of Disc Centers of America, Huntington, Long Island. He's also the president of NeuroDoc, Neuropathy Treatment Centers, Huntington, Long Island. And he really is, you know, he really is a guy that is an all-in doctor. He's a student of this game, but he's really part entrepreneur, he's part doctor, and he's also part scientist. And the reason I say he's part scientist is because everything he does is based upon research and science. And you're going to learn that here tonight. And you're going to learn how a practice during these times has actually grown. What an incredible story. And he really is unmatched because he could have stopped doing this long ago. He has such a heightened commitment to his patients. And one of the great things, it's actually one of the gifts that we're actually going to share tonight, and this is one of the incredible things about being with us, is that Dr. Banks actually recorded a radio show. And I told him immediately, and you could ask Dr. Banks, that it was the single greatest recording of the Physician Spotlight radio show because he was so authoritative. He was so in command. He was so large and in charge. But what you'll really learn is a level of confidence based upon a heightened level of communication. For those doctors that are joining us here tonight, and send us an email after this is over, we'll show you where to do that. You'll get access to this private this private radio show, and it's awesome. It's a great listen. And before we bring them on, what I would love to do is I'd actually love to have Dr. Kaplan actually, you know what we'll do is actually, instead of Dr. Kaplan introducing him, Dr. Kaplan's going to actually chime in because there's a history here of Dr. Kaplan and Dr. Banks that goes back so many years, which he kind of touched upon before. Dr. Banks is the author of an incredible book, and we're going to talk about how you can get your hands on this book here tonight. Natural Cures for Dummies. He's actually going to share some of the content with it here. And it really is, you know, it's such an honor really to have you with us here tonight. And I would love for, Dr. Kaplan, let's do this. What I'd like to do before you come on, Dr. Banks, what I'd like to do is just have Dr. Kaplan just share just a couple of words before you actually come on tonight, because he has a history with you, my friend, that's really unmatched.
You know, Perry, due to you, what am I snacking on? Broccoli. I mean, who would have thought a kid from Jersey would eat broccoli? And, you know, Scott, I'm so proud of you because, you know, we go back to college. As I said, I was Scott's resident advisor. And then we came and we met along the chiropractic journey. And you know other doctors, Scott, that are with us in New York. And here's what we preach and I position that the brand is bigger than the product. And when you realize that, doctors, that you're promoting the brand more than you're promoting yourselves, okay, the brand, you will learn, and nobody has done it better than Scott. Scott is the best of equipment. He's made every investment in technology. You name it, he probably has it. You know, and Perry and I were talking yesterday, and we were talking about dentistry because Perry's, you know, older son is in dental school. And so we like dentistry because there's really a similarity between dentists and chiropractors. There really is. And one of the things we're saying, what separates a good dentist from a great dentist? Because obviously you have to have the hands But you know what? More importantly, they have to have the technology. So here, if you can put your hands and the technology together, and then you take someone like Scott, who's implemented the science, who's written a book, who has, so many, he has a matrix, he has an Acuspina, he has so many pieces of equipment, he does exams, pre-exams, post-exams, and he's revolutionary in this Corona time. And I'm so proud because, when you see the growth of a younger brother, and they grow to such heights that you have, Scott, and that's why Buzz is probably not here tonight. He's probably embarrassed by your success and his failures. And if he's there, Buzz, you should have been on earlier and I wouldn't have picked on you. But the point is, Scott, I'm so proud of you. You've done such a great job. You're helping so many people. You're going to help so many people here tonight to give up your Thursday. Perry, hey, what more can I say than, the man is everything to me. I love him like a brother.
Dr. Banks, the floor is yours, brother. Take it away. I'm so excited to hear what you have to say.
All right, so I've been thinking about this all week. Last week, Eric goes, "You're the guest speaker," and I'm glad to do so. First of all, I want to give a couple shout outs here. I see Casey here. Casey is my right arm, my office manager, and she actually came to a boot camp, and she came to the Cairo event, and we've been on fire since that because we've been implementing everything that gets thrown at us from Descendants of America, and we have taken on the brands. We've taken on the NeuroDoc, and we've taken on Descendants of America, and it's been real good. But as a lot of you guys know, and I see a bunch of friends on here, I see Bruce, and I see Mark, and Larry Silverstein, and it's good to see all these people here, and Brigitte, who I met at the boot camp. That I practice right smack in the middle where Nassau and Suffolk County is, and just in my town alone, I think there's about 4,000 confirmed cases of corona. I practice in a very busy professional space. The building parking lot is dead. There's maybe one person on each floor that's working. Myself, on my floor, I have a neurologist next door to me. He's been closed since day one. And I have to say, because of these calls on a Thursday night, that I just said, I'm not scared. I'm not going to put my head in the sand. The doctors don't want to be in the hospital. The nurses don't want to be there. And I'm going to take care of my patients. I know that getting adjusted is going to boost your immune system, and people are still going to have back pain, neck pain, and they're still going to have neuropathy, and they're still going to need my services. And actually, we've got a lot of new patients over the last month. And I have the Descendants of America website, and then I just got an email before this call tonight from Ramon that we have a new patient coming in tomorrow, 1 o'clock, that wants to start decompression. Good. Hey, Gavin, how are you, buddy? See Gavin down there? Gavin's my buddy down there, and it's his birthday. He's going to be 3 on Monday, right? Cinco de Mayo, or May 4th. Anyway, so the way that I look at this right now is that I've been involved with the Institute for Functional Medicine since 1995, where I first got turned on to hearing Jeff Bland speak. And so I kind of did everything that IFM threw at us, and I became certified in functional medicine in 2013. Where they graduated their first graduating class. And now's a perfect time. If you look at patients that are dying from this, or the people that get infected the most, are people that have comorbidities. They are obese, they're diabetic, they have high BMIs, they have comorbidities, they have autoimmune issues. And who better to take this on than the chiropractic profession? All right, because allopathic medicine doesn't know how to treat those patients. I mean, if you end up in the hospital and you end up in the ICU, then they're going to take good care of you as best they can. They're going to try hard. But our job is to really try to prevent people from getting into that situation in the first place. So we kind of jumped on the testing, where I saw like a lot of patients were calling up going, I can't come in. My wife won't let me come in. Somebody's, we were getting a lot of cancellations. But we decided to get involved in doing some testing. So over the last 3 weeks now, we've probably done, 35, 40 different tests, and we charge an administrative fee for it because there's some work involved with it. And so that lab is KBMO Diagnostics. If you guys, and I sent Perry a whole bunch of links for after my talk that they can send out to you. But if you go to KBMO Diagnostics, you register, and then you can order the kit, and you can send the kit to the patient's house. And then once the kid gets the patient, then you send a phlebotomist to the patient's house. We have phlebotomists in every state. So I've done patients in Florida. I've done patients in California. I've done patients all over the place. We have a nice mailing list. We had about 10,000 people, and we sent it out to everybody. We had people call from all around the country that wanted to do the testing, especially before it's starting to become a little bit more prevalent, but it's still not out there. In my area, they're just really testing. They're just doing really the PCR testing. They're not really doing the antibody testing. And where they're doing the antibody test, they're just doing the IgG, not IgM. So it's kind of deficient. And some of them are just measuring different types of coronavirus and not just necessarily COVID-19. So the test is a real good thing. And it was we did video on it. We did Instagram. We did everything that we did on Instagram with the help of Casey. She goes, no, you got to do it this way. And she's just great with the technology. So we put something on Instagram and immediately goes on Facebook. We boost it. Next thing you know, we got 700 views on that. So that was a great thing. And so we've been using a lot of Instagram. We try to post something just about every day, whether it be a patient testimonial, whether it be for chiropractic, whether it be for spinal decompression, whether it be for the neuropathy. You use that matrix on people and they get better right away. And you can do a testimonial with that really quick and people see that. It's really a great piece of equipment. So that's really been a great thing. Another Eric talked about, I wrote this book and it was not easy. First of all, Eric says he has ADD. I got ADD, DD, like Eric. We both have attention deficit disorder. And it was very hard for me to write this book, but with the help of my staff and a ghostwriter, that I was able to get that out. So anybody that wants a book from tonight's webinar, I'll be more than happy to send that to you. So just send the thing to Perry or send it to me. They'll give you my contact information. And it's a very good reference book for a lot of different things. I mean, it's really like the Cliff Note version for nutrition. So as far as the patients go, we've been really listening to a lot of different webinars. So this is my webinar on Thursday night. And then on Sunday night, I've been doing awr.org/health radio. And that's Adventist, Seventh-day Adventist World Radio. And they've been putting on a great webinar series for the last 4 Sunday nights from 8 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. That's a great time. Everything's done. It's 8 o'clock. And it goes real fast. And there's a doctor on there. His name is Dr. Roger Swalt. It's Seheult. He's a pulmonologist in San Diego seeing COVID patients, but he's a functional medicine pulmonologist. And he puts out an update. Since this has been going on, we're on number 64. So he puts out an update like every other day. I think if you guys want to listen to that, you're on this call, you want to learn, you go to medcram.com. medcram.com, or you can go on YouTube and just put in Medcram and he'll come up, and just subscribe. It's free. The updates are very short. They're anywhere from 13 minutes to 20 minutes long, so you can look at them real fast. And he explains everything very easily to understand on a whiteboard. He draws it out, and this way you'll know about all the medications. So I take those things and then I make them my own, and then I send them out to our patients. All right. So I've been able, through the Institute for Functional Medicine, through Centers of America, you guys sent out that stress workshop last week. That was great. So we're in the process of doing that right now. I'm going to do a webinar on Zoom. I'm going to talk to the computer like I'm talking now. I'll record it, and then I'll say, Casey, take this, put it in an email, and then we'll send it out. And we'll give out free education. All right, because the biggest thing that's going on right now is depression, anxiety, and insomnia. Those are the biggies. All right. Another real good thing that we've been doing is that, well, if the patients that are getting the biggest problems with COVID-19 are guys in their 60s, all right, 64 is that age, and I'm 64, so that's my age, and I've known plenty of people that have become infected, and I had a friend of mine, a chiropractor, ended up on the ventilator. And I look at a commonality with a lot of these guys: big bellies, don't exercise, high BMI, diabetes, pre-diabetic. So what better audience, what a better time than now than to to attract those patients and get them ready for the next pandemic. All right. If you made it through this pandemic, how about the next thing that's coming? So this is a great book, all right, that I would turn everybody onto. It's written by Dr. Walter Longo. You can go to createcures.org. He doesn't take a dime from the book. All the money from the book goes to createcures.org. He could be retired and living on an island somewhere. And I've never had a product that has worked so good for so many people in the shortest period of time for the least amount of money. It's a home run. And so what it is, it's a 5-day fasting mimicking diet. This is what you eat for 5 days. You're gonna go, I can't eat that for 5 days. It's very good. I just did it last week myself. I lost 5 pounds during the week of all just truncal fat. Just truncal fat. Just my central. Go ahead.
Can I ask a question? I'm
Yes.
looking at Mark Lesagio's face. I just gotta ask, he wants to know if there's a pizza in there.
You know what I would say to Mark is that he's a great guy. I love Mark. We had a great conversation coming back from the last certification program at the airport, right? I don't remember what city, what state, but we were in an airport having a good time together. And it's only 5 days. It's a 5-day fasting mimicking diet where you on a fast for 5 days for 3 consecutive months. It's very easy. It's very doable. So what I decided to do is I have a personal trainer who's going through the Institute for Functional Medicine health coaching program. She's 38. She does kickboxing. She's in great shape. She's got more energy than me. And so we're doing a town hall on Tuesday night. So what we did is we sent out a Zoom invitation to our patient database. And I think we've already got about 10, 11 people scheduled. And we're just going to have a conversation about how to get through this. What do you eat? How do you exercise? How do you reduce stress? Like all these different things. And we're just going to do like a webinar like this with patients, with the emphasis of putting them into a 5-day fasting mimicking diet in a group fast, because people do better in community when you do things together. So we're going to do Prolon together too. And I sent Perry the link to reach out to Sarah if you're interested in doing Prolon. It's also very easy, and we've created a program around that we do a 3-month program. It's $1,900, not a tremendous amount of money, and it's very doable for patients, and people lose a lot of weight. I had a woman, she was 340 pounds, a big woman. She lost 65 pounds. That's great. And then I had a guy that was 380 pounds. In 2 rounds, he lost 37 pounds. I had another patient who was diabetic, and now he's not diabetic. All right, so these are life-changing things for people. If you can get these people off these medications, reduce inflammation, a lot of things will feel better with them. So that's another thing that I wanted to talk about. Okay, so I like to go to the gym, and unfortunately my gym has been closed, and I got turned on to a woman named Rhonda Patrick. I don't know if any of you know her, but she runs a podcast called Found My Fitness. And so you just go put Found My Fitness into podcast, there's no space between Found My and Fitness. And she also has a website, and she puts out great content. She's a scientist, she's a PhD. And I really first heard about Dr. Longo from her interviewing him. So there's 2 interviews with him, one from 2016, another one from 2018. But she did a thing on sauna and the reduction of cardiovascular risk. Like guys that go into saunas 4 times a week can reduce your risk of having a cardiovascular event for over more than 60%. So we just recently purchased a sauna for the office called the Relax Sauna. So you can go to relaxsaunas.com. I sent the link to Perry because if you go through that link, you'll save some extra money. It's, I think, $1,300 for retail. We were able to get patients a discount. It doesn't take up a lot of room. And the thing's unbelievable. And we already sold 2 of them. And every time you sell one, you make $400. It's also very good for neuropathy. All right. Because it causes vasodilation.
Can I jump in for a second?
No.
I am anyway. Anyway, if you really want a sauna, come to Florida because we live in a sauna. And we have the event coming up. And I promise you, you'll sweat. It'll be there. You'll eat, you'll sweat, you'll be. It's an amazing thing. that's taking place. You know, the event, you know, for doctors that, Scott, that, as you know, that are new tonight, the event is an amazing thing. I kind of call it a one-day MBA. You know, you got your DC degree, but you know what? They didn't teach you in chiropractic school how to make money. In the one-day MBA, Scott, when I listen to you and I look at your knowledge and I look at your education and I look at your background, okay? I mean, I'm saying to myself, as I'm sitting here, I'm saying, look at this pot-smoking college kid, how bright he became. I'm going to tell you, I'm so proud. And how's this? Lori, I even know who he dated. He dated Bonnie Albrecht. He was in love with this girl. And that's when Scott had like a head of hair. He had like an afro. It was out like to here. Right, Scott? You know what I'm saying, right?
I remember my hair, believe me.
Before there was diagnostic testing, you know, so the point is, you know, Scott, as I sit here tonight and I listen to you, and I sit here with such pride, but I want people to know something. You know, the world and what you read in the media is not always true. Do you people know, I'm going to give you a fact, you know, there's been a lot of stuff with President Trump or whatever in the World Health Organization. Do you know that the World Health Organization says that herniated discs is contraindicated for chiropractic? Wow. So am I supporting the World Health Organization? No. That's why the name is who? Who the hell are they? That they can say that herniated discs are contraindicated for chiropractic care when we're like the anti-surgery people of the world. Listen, it's not contraindicated for chiropractic care. Obviously, they haven't read the Ironman study. They haven't read the Shealy study. They haven't read, you know, all the studies that go out there. I go on and on and on, from Bergmeyer to Wireman. And here they're saying the World Health Organization says it's contraindicated for herniated disc. I read a book by Catherine Jacobson Robin, and it talks about crooked. And I talked about the medical industry, and they did a thing, and I talked about it last week, that they went in front of the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgeons. They said, how many of the orthopedic surgeons out of 100 would have back surgery? Out of 100, only one said they would have it. And here you are sitting there with people, Brigitte, okay, Caputo, in every different state in the nation, and people are suffering, and you're saying, you know, why? So, you know, when you look at a guy like Scott, who's all in, who's written the books, you know, when you look at what's out there, when you look at what we can do, but doctors, here's what I'm asking you. My question to you is, are you ready? Are you ready to be the best that you can be? Are you ready to make a change? Are you ready to take your game to the next level? You know, Perry and I have written another book, which will be out soon, and it's called Goals to Great, because goal setters are goal getters. And I'm going to tell you, you know, Scott, you motivated me tonight. So I'm going to make a commitment tonight to everybody on this thing and to Perry that for my book, The 1 Minute Motivator, which I assure you will be a bestseller, that 100% of the proceeds, the profits of this book will be donated to research for decompression neuropathy. Eric Kaplan will not take a dime. I'll give a nickel to Jason, and the rest, only kidding, son, the rest you're cut out of this one. All the monies that received, all the monies that were received, all the profits will go towards research. So this is, Perry and I don't, you know, this is why we do this tonight. Perry spends all week preparing for this tonight, and don't think it's easy, because remember, the world is Zooming. And Perry has to deal with the world Zooming. And as you look around, doctors, let me tell you something. As you go, they only allow us a certain amount of people. So you don't know how many emails he has to answer tonight, because, oh, I tried to get on the meeting, I couldn't get on. I wanted to go on the meeting, I couldn't get on. I needed to go on the meeting, I couldn't get on. And Perry, in his graciousness, answers every one of those emails, because Zoom limits the amount of people. It's like a restaurant. They social distance us on Zoom. Can you imagine that? I'm being social distanced on the internet by saying, well, what? Well, why can't they come? They won't allow it. So Perry has to respond to all these emails of all these people. And I'm going to tell you, that's why the event will be magical. That's why the next boot camp will be magical. And Fulinski, you know what I said to you, and what your wife did is phenomenal. We will change the world, doctors. You know, why is it that chiropractic has the lowest amount of risk, and yet we're considered alternative healthcare providers? Shouldn't drugs and surgery be be alternative? Shouldn't we be primary? This is our time, and thanks to guys like you, Scott, we will make a difference. You're unbelievable. I'm so proud of you.
I appreciate
Hey,
it.
So one of the things that this week, actually, let me make sure I could hear myself. So, oh, there we go. Okay, I got to make sure because last time the microphone, technical difficulties. There we go. So, so one of the things this week that Dr. Banks did actually was he sent me an email, and with your approval, Dr. Banks, what I would love to do is I'd love to forward it to any of the doctors that make the inquiry. I'll give you access here on this webinar of where to reach out here coming up. I think I have a slide for it. And I'm going to send them exactly what you sent me, because one of the things that I loved about it was you bullet pointed some of your nutritional recipe. Can I say it? Can I say it was like you're like, take this, take this, take this, take this. Now, obviously, every patient is different based upon medical necessity, but you were very exacting in some of the products that you love. And then you gave examples, per se, of how incredible the week has been going. So it was a great summary email, which was like, the way you laid it out. With your approval, I'd love to be able to send that out to the doctors. And with regards to the book itself, let me go over real quick. I want to share the screen again here real quick. Can you see it? There you go. So he is the author of this incredible book. As you can see, this is not a chintzy book. I don't think I've ever used the word chintzy on a webinar or a video conference. This is not a chintzy. It's thick, man. It's thick. If you want it, you got a couple of choices. Number one, go to Amazon and buy it. That's a great idea. Number two, if you want it as a gift, then yes, you can have access to it as one of the gifts by attending, of course, the Cairo event, as we mentioned. Now, with regard to the email, write it down, newpatientnow@aol.com. If you want access to a number of the things that Dr. Banks really just gave, I could have kept them on here, and Dr. Kaplan, we could have kept them on here for 5 hours. He won't say the same thing twice. I mean, his battery of knowledge with regards to, and I love this. I mean, you got to love this in our profession, that at the end of the day, they don't care. When I say they, I'm talking about patients. They don't care what the 2 letters after your name is. I know that's like nails on the blackboard for some of you. Well, guess what? I'm not here to please everybody. The fact is this: if you try to be everything to everybody, there's an old saying, you'll often be nothing to nobody. We weren't here looking for fan approval here tonight. If we say something and it's abrasive, but these are the facts. Just the facts. If you remember, you used to watch a show years ago. It was called Dragnet. And Jack Webb would walk in. And remember what he used to say? Just the facts, ma'am. They go left, they go right, they go middle. He go, just the facts, ma'am. That's all. You want the facts. The facts are simple. The facts are, if I'm a patient, all I care about is that you, doctor, can help me. All I care about are the 2 letters in front of your name. All I care about is that you may be my last resort. You may have the answer. So you got to love a doctor like Scott Banks that really looks at a patient holistically, from above down, inside out. Everything based around the foundation of chiropractic, looks at them nutritionally, diagnostically tests them in unique ways, gives them point of reference evidence and science, and sits down. And then you wonder, of course his practice is growing. In New York, baby. This is the magic of it. He's having fun. We're having fun. That's what we do on Thursday Night Live. We love this because you love it and your feedback. And Dr. Beal, by the way, thanks for that. Don't think I don't read that stuff here, man. And you're with us here tonight. Thank you for your kind words. That was awesome. You're digging it. That's right. That's why we do it. We do it for guys like you that, yeah, you can sit on your ass and sit on the sidelines. But the last time I checked, nothing good ever happens when you sit on the sidelines. You want to get in the game. That's how you win. You got to get off the bench. And I know, listen, it's normal to be a little bit paralyzed. It's normal not to take a step left, not to take a step right, because you don't know what to do. But the fact is simple. We will give you a bullet point list if you are fortunate enough to attend the Cairo event on May 30th. And heck, Dr. George, Calvin George, holy cow, right? You're one step away from coming with your buddy, Dr. Edgar Rubel, who's part of our family, on Friday to the boot camp. And the clock is ticking. We love to see you Saturday, but the real deal, as you know, is for our family on Friday. And if you notice, they just sent me a text. I'll show it to you here on my, don't laugh, it's a BlackBerry flip phone. I know, it's old school, right? They just sent me a text. I'll show it to you. No more 4 seats. Now it's down to 2 seats. So whoever that doctor was, I don't know if it's 2 different doctors or a doctor and his wife or whatever. So now it's down to 2. And I have a good, strong feeling by the time we meet next week that it's gone. So life favors the action takers. Life favors the doctors that have the ability to step up to the plate. Life favors the doctors that get the big idea and understand that the world is yours. There are so many patients that have no clue you exist, that you are the best kept secret in your market. And if you hang out with entrepreneurial chiropractors, there's a great chance good stuff is going to rub off. Case in point, here's an example of it. First time ever, Thursday Night Live. Showing a video. We wanted to have some fun tonight. It's Saturday, May 30th. I'm digging the music. That's why I got a jukebox here. We're spinning the tunes here tonight. And it's a party. It really is. It's a party on May 30th in a 5-star location. And listen, you know, these are cherished times. These are cherished moments. These are rare opportunities. And like I said, you can go to the April issue. You can read a 6-page interview on non-surgical spinal decompression. You can learn how to raise your communication, how to raise your skill level, how to bring your A game back on Monday. And by the way, you know, and I touched upon this last week, that number one, there's nothing to sign. There's no contracts. There's no obligation. There's no pressure. This is a mutual admiration society, and you, doctor, have to meet the criteria to actually be invited to be part of our family. Very few seats remain, and you know, it's one of those things, and it's not by chance. I don't know if you saw this or if you know this, but for fun here tonight, do you think it's coincidental, or is it just, you know, why does that happen? When I look here and I see doctors like Dr. Lanzano in New Jersey, Dr. Rosenberg in Los Angeles, California. Great job, Dr. Rosenberg, today on the Dr. Success TV show. Dr. Burns, Ronkonkoma, New York. Hey, Dr. Lewandowski, by the way, give your buddy, Dr. Mark Lesagio, a call. He's in PA, and as well. Dr. Cameron Rowana, Texas. Carl Abramson in Nashville. I mean, Chris Beller, I remember you, brother. You were in North Carolina. Dan Weymouth in San Leandro. Dr. Daryl Strelinsky in Henderson. Dr. Hoyle. Cool dude, man. You're awesome. Kansas City. I mean, Dr. Manson in Hudson, New York. You think this is coincidental? Why do our family members hang out with us? Because they're looking for one more thing. It's only about one more thing. Dr. John Zeliaks, Dr. Graham Kern, incredible. Dr. Haksu Bey, Queens, New York. Dr. Graham Kern, by the way, up in Clearwater. Incredible. Lakeland, I'm sorry. Dr. Korb, can't wait to see you at the Cairo event. Cool dude from New Jersey, brother, by the way. Dr. Christian in Ohio. I mean, this is not coincidental that our family of doctors hangs out with us because they're looking for one additional tool to be able to bring something back to their patients, to communicate a little bit better, to educate a little bit better, to bridge a little bit better, to overcome an objection a little bit better, to handle a financial a little bit better, to market a little bit better. That's the magic of it. Dr. Rothler up in Winter Park, Dr. Brodkin in Boca, holy cow, Dr. Shane Borditsky in Minnesota, Dr. Sonny in North Carolina, Dr. Lobig, how cool is this? In Virginia, great to see you. Love to your husband, Glenn, Dr. Frino. And I did get your email, brother. Congratulations on your purchase, on raising your game to treat neuropathy patients so much better. Dialed it. How many new patients did you have? I would love to bring you into the conversation. I just got that email 10 minutes ago. You're awesome, and I can't wait to speak to you this week. Phenomenal. Raising your game. 2 practices. Campbell, California. No, another one in Northern California. Butt kicker, game player. I mean, and this is a doctor who unfortunately took a cruise ship. And what happened? This is a chiropractor who unfortunately came down with COVID-19. And my heart broke when I heard that. And then he told me that it wasn't going to get him. It was going to go in and it was going to go out. He's in great shape. It starts from above down, inside out. It starts with one simple idea. It starts with the big idea. You think you were here by accident? There are no accidents in life. Just ask Dr. Kaplan. Everything is a learning experience. And it's been my honor, really my treat, to hang out with him. Can you imagine? 33 years he's been in my life. And you know the best part? It just keeps getting better. Nobody has more fun than us. We're loving it because you guys love it. We love hanging out with you. You got our email. We gave away there's some cool gifts if you hit us up on the email, and even cooler gifts on the opportunity on May 30th. 2 seats left. Go grab them. We would love to see you. And Dr. K, would you be so kind as to take us home tonight?
You know, behind every great doctor can be also a great staff. And I also want to acknowledge tonight you, Casey Orr, because I know what a great job that you've done with Scott, that your commitment to Scott, your commitment to chiropractic, your commitment to your patients. So tonight, I honor you. I lift my glass. It's grape juice, don't worry. And I salute you for the work that you've done, with Scott. And, a lot of people recognize, so here we are. Think about what we talked about. If you came to the Cairo event, you're going to receive Scott Spank's book. You're going to receive the 1-minute motivator. I'll give you the 5-minute motivator too. Give you 6 minutes to change your life. You'll receive Perry's book, best-selling book, Success Spotlight. You'll get Mineralzer, right, Brigitte? Right, shake your head. She'll have samples. Okay, and you know what? I've been very fortunate, Sonny, because, everyone knows that I work with the Trump family for over 20 years. I work with the family. I'm on the cover of my book. And, after the press release tonight, I said, Donald, would you stop by and say hello to the chiropractors? And he said, of course. So Donald's going to just stop in and say, Scott, you're phenomenal. You did a great job tonight. I'm so proud of you. Casey, you did great. I'm so proud of what you're doing with the chiropractic. This is a great time to you guys. Let's get on the VA. Let's get on chiropractic. You don't even lose your lip, so it's pretty amazing. Thanks, Donald. I know you're very busy. I know you got a lot of people to take care of. I know you got to go. So say goodbye to all the chiropractors of the world. See you at Trump. See you at the event. So it's amazing. You never know who's going to show up at the event. You never know what's going to happen. I'm going to predict the future again. Oh, look who's back. The amazing 8-Ball. It says, if you attend the event, wow, I guarantee you 1 new patient. How much is 1 new patient worth to you, doctors? so some people can be out there while they're promoting themselves. You bet. And I want you to promote yourself. If I can't speak highly for what I do, how can you speak highly for you do? I'm so proud that we have probably the largest practice in the country. We have practice with 13,000 square feet. We have practice with 12 decompression tables. Not the same. I have one practice in New Mexico, Brockton, 30,000 square feet. I got guys that have diplomates in neurology like you, Dr. Brockton, okay? And, I have people from California like you, Weymouth, wrestlers like you, Lesagio, inventors like you, okay? Brigitte, don't you fade on me. Don't let your ADD take over, baby. I'm looking at you. I can't believe that you and Lori did your hair tonight. So the point that I'm saying is, this is a great time. And Scott, did a great thing. And we'll have him back. I speak to Mike Smith, who's had more new patients. I'm going to tell you, with people like you, Casey, with people like you, Scott, with people like you, Brigitte, and there's so many more, Perry gave thanks, Patrick Doyle, what you've done, even you, Dr. Silverstein, not my favorite guy, but only kidding, that, but you know what, you're so committed to being a better doctor. I mean, it's amazing. And Rex, if I put you and Patrick Doyle in the same room, I think they would swear that you were brothers. And then you talk about Cameron Rowe, which Perry didn't talk about tonight. Cameron Rowe was in a town, when he originally started, he had no decompression tables. He's in a small town in Texas. Matter of fact, the name of the town is Small Town, Texas. I don't know the name. But the point is, he had no decompression tables. He got his first decompression table. They had one traffic light in the whole town. He became so busy, they had to put in a second traffic light. No sooner than they got a second traffic light, he got a second table. How cool is that? My son, in practice a little over 3 years, 3.5 years, 3 decompression tables. The world is looking for help. Are you willing to help the world? Who will you be? Perry and I were talking about, your tombstone. They have 2 numbers, where you begin and where you ended. And the corona has taken a lot of great lives in America. And I say that, privately, I'm so happy, Tom, that you've recovered. And the beauty about, here's a guy who's been a chiropractic patient, no ventilator for Tom. Okay. I mean, we know that, listen, in New York, Scott, I don't know if you know this, they did a study, 80% of the people that went on ventilators, 80% died. Ventilators are not the cure. And what you said, Scott, which is the most brilliant thing of the night, the secret is keeping them away from the hospital. And I'm going to tell you, the testing thing that you did, Scott, that you're going to provide them by email, that they can do that. So when everyone says there's no testing, we would be the first chiropractic group in the world to provide testing accessible to any patient. And you can email this, and you can do a Zoom meeting. So Scott, I'm so proud of you tonight. And lastly, and not least, Perry Bard, like I said, this might be an hour and a half, but it takes him 24 hours of nonstop work with Zoom. And like I said, Zoom limits us. So imagine that maybe there's 60, 70 people here tonight. There's 100 people that they wouldn't let on because they saw how many people registered. But our first choice always goes to our clients. So what Dr. Bard did in his genius is he sent out an email to our clients first. So our clients could register. So that the clients had the original access to attend tonight. Anyone else? They can watch a tape meeting. So to you, Perry, I applaud you. I compliment you. To you, Scott, great job tonight. To you, Casey Orr, you are a star. And I think after tonight, you should ask Scott for a raise, but don't tell him I told you so. But I want to say, thank you to everyone. And lastly, I'm going to break the future. The future is good for chiropractic. You just need to believe. The magic 8-ball never lies. The future is good for chiropractic. You just need to believe. So Perry, I believe in you, brother. Let's finish it up.
Thank you, my man. And, listen, at the end of the day, it's about 3 letters, F-U-N. Are you having fun? And you say, well, gee, these are challenging times. These are dire straits. They're throwing arrows at me. Well, yeah, they are. But guess what? This is about ammunition. And for doctors like Dr. Banks and for doctors like Dr. Lesagio, who clearly understand that this is about really stacking the deck. Whether it's a ground attack, whether it's a sea attack, whether it's a water attack, that's sea, right? Ground, air, sea. See, it doesn't make a difference whether you go from the top down, from the bottom up, from left to right, lateral to medial, medial to lateral, superior to inferior, inferior to superior. Sounds like a chiropractic listing, right? You take your pisiform, brother, and you connect. You get on that TP in the lamina pedicle junction, and you do the right thing, and you have fun with it. Hey, listen, we've had a blast, and we take nothing for granted. Nothing. We're in the bonus. But guess what? There's more juice here that could be squeezed out. And that's why the doctors here that clearly get it and understand it. And it was so nice to see you, Dr. Concessi, by the way, in Michigan. And I mean, listen, you get these guys together in a room and these gals together in a room, it's a party. Let me tell you something. I love the social component of our family. In other words, I love the fact that when they get together, and I love those stories with Dr. Banks and Dr. Lesagio, you know, head and back, sharing love, sharing content, sharing communication, sharing tools. I love that. This is what it was meant to be. And you are, doctors, a product of your inner circle. So my question to you is this: how strong is your inner circle? Well, you can do two things. You could try to learn from experience. You could try to kick as many tires as you want. And you know what I say? Good luck, because you're going to need it, because you're going to be old, and very gray if you're waiting for the party to come to you. Whereby these doctors that said, you know what, there's a price to pay here. There's a price to pay in terms of my time, my energy, my effort. And yeah, you got to cut a check. You do. You do. You got to put some flesh into the game. How much? 99 bucks. $99 gets you a seat at the Cairo event. 2 seats left. You've got the website, www.thecairoevent.com. And you know what I'm so excited about? Tomorrow is what? It's May 1st, which means the countdown is finally on. 4 weeks away from tomorrow, the party starts. Boot camp, Cairo event. You've never seen anything like this. It'll be the biggest one, and that's why, if you were here in the beginning, Dr. K was talking about how we're taking it potentially to another location, and the location is 5-star. So you guys that are part of our family, you get first access to everything. Thank you for joining us. We had a blast tonight, and can't wait to see you at boot camp on the 29th and the Cairo event on May 30th. Have a great night. We'll speak to you soon.